So when do you actually watch Doctor Who? Do you watch it on Sunday?
Last week I watched it on Sunday night
Yeah.
and again on Monday.
Oh, so you watched it twice?
Yeah, because I was watching it in bed Sunday night and I didn't have the volume up too loud. So
Oh,
so I couldn't. And Peter Capaldi is Scottish, so it's kind of tough to understand sometimes.
yeah. You've got to get, I find that too. We were watching Derek for that TV show, and Derek, it's all British, and Derek, the character, he mumbles,
Oh man.
and so it's Ricky Gervais mumbling in a really heavy accent, and for the first probably 5 minutes, you're sitting there kind of going, "What do they say? What do you say?" Because here and careful, and you're like, I have not heard this.
But the episode was so good, I wanted to watch it twice. I actually watched it a half a time today because it was on again.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's excellent. So I'm super excited. You want to start recording? Ready?
Yes. One second. Okay, go.
3, 2, 1. Recording.
No, I'm recording.
I told you I am recording.
No, I am recording.
I am recording.
Hi, chat room.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen,
How are you?
especially ladies. Good
Hello,
evening.
ladies. So I just had a really funny experience right before the show.
Mhm.
Before we came on and before I came upstairs to get myself ready. I was watching Revenge of the Nerds on VH1.
Nerds.
Nerds. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so funny and lame, and it's classic '80s. But what's funny is it's on VH1, and it's on cable. But every time I've seen it on anything that's not like pay cable, HBO, Showtime, whatever, they have always censored quite a bit of stuff out of it. And so I tweeted just a little while ago that I was watching it and saw the scene where they're having the party at the new Lambda house, and it kind of scrolls past and hits to where the guy who plays Booger says, "Hey guys, Wonder Joints." And he opens up his shirt, and there's big fat ones there. But every single time I've seen it on cable, they've always censored that. And so I tweeted it, and I tagged the guy who plays Booger, and he replied, and he was like, "Baby steps." I was like, it's cool. So I know it's funny because I remember everybody, now they can actually show people smoking pot on a cable show, and it's not.
And I didn't know what a Wonder Joint was.
You
I'm
thought
like,
it was what?
What's the joke? I don't understand. What's so
Yeah, because
funny?
you thought I was saying what?
I thought you were talking about like elbow joints. Yeah. I'm square.
You're such a nerd.
See, these nerds aren't really nerds. They sound kind of cool.
Well, the Revenge of the Nerds, it was like, they were like the uber nerds, but then they turned cool because they were winners.
Is that show still on?
The King of the Nerds?
Yeah.
It's on. They're doing their third season. I think they just wrapped up filming their third season.
They never called me. They followed me on Twitter. They never called me.
Never called you the casting. I guess you're. I'm sorry. I would not be able to compete on that show because I am not smart enough for that
I'm not
show.
nerdy enough.
I'm nerdy. I'm not smart enough.
Do you imagine me in that show? All these stupid kids getting drunk. I'm like, what the hell? What's going
I know.
on? Everybody grow up. Act like an adult.
Stop acting like a kid.
And turn into my father.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm an old man. I got 2 kids in a house and a couple of cars. And I got
dog and a cat.
Dog and a cat. Yeah, it's like, grow up. Stop crying. What are you crying for?
Grow up, bitches.
You're only away from home for 3 weeks. Shut up. You'll be fine.
You'll deal. You'll deal with the thing and the stuff.
Your life will go on. I promise.
I know that show. I really, really enjoy that show. It's so freaking cheesy, but it's awesome. I love it.
Oh,
King of the Nerds.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're a TV person. I was going to ask you about a television show. What the hell? I don't remember. I was just thinking of this today too.
See a kitty assume he's kind of wandering.
Are you guys on that TV show doing anything special for the 10th anniversary of Lost?
I don't think so. We haven't planned it. I mean, we both watched it. I really like the show, but I'm not an Uber fan.
Oh my God. You do a show called That TV Show. It's one of the most important shows in television history.
No, I would say that, there were a lot of shows that were the most important shows in
But none of
television.
them is having a 10-year anniversary September 22nd.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's still really good, though. I can't believe that show is 10 years old.
10 years old, Jules. 10 years.
It's crazy.
Do you remember where you were when you watched it?
Yeah, actually, Kane and I used to watch it in my old condo.
I remember when I saw the pilot, it wasn't the night it debuted. It was a Saturday afternoon. And my mom was like, you have to watch Lost. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch a television show and then get stuck watching it and then have it disappear on me because I had been watching a lot of shows that got canceled, right?
Oh, you were like,
so I'm like, I'm not
going
to get caught up in a show, then just have it canceled on me. Right. But then I just happened to watch it one afternoon sitting in someone's room. And I was just like, we're just hanging out. And I'm like, wow, this is a really good show. Whew, I think I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
And then I stuck. I love it. It's one of my favorite shows ever.
I do remember watching that show, and we had the fourth season was about to premiere, so we had the first 3 on DVD, and we would not stop watching it. It was like we couldn't stop watching it because you get to the point you're like, so it was just, you get to this cliffhanger and you're like, you can't stop now, and I couldn't imagine what it was like to be able to try to watch that show week to week and have to wait, and then we did that.
You imagine, you remember that, right? It's like, especially going into the off season, the agony of the cliffhangers, like when season 3 ended.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
I remember screaming at the television, going, "No!"
Yeah.
Like you're just pissed off because you can't see what happens.
There's Jack going, "We have to go back," and you're like, "Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We have to go back." That's so true too. And I was just like, no. I was like that tonight with Orphan Black. We just finished watching the 2nd season of Orphan Black, which is a great show, by the way. And they just, of course, lift the veil off of one of the biggest conspiracies that you've been kind of hanging around, and then they threw another one at you that you didn't even expect, and you're like, come on, I don't know when you're coming back again. It just sucks. This is what happens with television. We get too invested, and then we get stressed out.
Yeah, we do. We do. What's got you invested right now?
So Orphan Black was one. We're really into, let's see, we kind of pick up things as we go. So we just finished Orphan Black, but prior to that, it was, what were we watching? I'm just blanking. We try. The problem with what happens with us is that we have to watch certain things for that TV show, and so it kind of takes up our time. So we've been watching Derek for this part on Netflix, and so you got to watch those episodes. And then previous to that, it was Vikings, so we were watching that a lot. That was pretty good. And so there's Orange is the New Black. That's right. That's the one we watched. The last one was Orange is the New Black, and I loved that one. House of Cards prior to that, I love that show. And yeah, it's just. I totally blanked out, though, on what I was watching because we've seen so much lately.
Are you going to do Survivor coverage?
No, I haven't done Survivor coverage in quite some time. Sorry. You gotta go. You gotta go listen to Rob Cesternino. He's much better at it.
I've told you before. He's my top 2.
I know.
Now
because we helped you learn who he was.
Yeah, you're like, we got a guy from Survivor. I'm like, yeah, you did. Who?
Yeah.
And you're like, Rob Cesternino. I'm like, oh my god, that guy. I hate that guy. He was such a dick in his season. But then I realized he wasn't a dick in his season. He was actually a really good player.
He was one of the best.
Yes, and then I started listening to his shows because I was bored. And I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love all the Survivor coverage.
Yeah, he's quite good.
I'm seeing Doctor Who is really good today. Yeah, I will watch. I'll probably watch tomorrow evening. Don't spoil it for me. I will cancel this GD show.
I'm pretty excited for there's 2 new shows coming up for the fall season. Scorpion on, I think, is CBS. It's a group of geniuses that help to go create this kind of secret organization to help save the country, and then that kind of thing. And then there's also Gotham coming up, which is the story of the backstory and all the stuff, not just about Batman, but about Gotham City and all the things that go around with it. That was really good.
I was thinking about watching that, but I don't know.
I'm not sure about Agent Carter, the whole spinoff related to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I will be watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., of
There's
course.
a spinoff already?
Yeah, well, it's the spinoff from Captain America, Agent Carter, the female agent. They're doing a series about her.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
You saw Captain America.
Yeah, who's Agent Carter?
The lady.
Uh-huh.
The lady agent, the one that he's in the first Captain America, where she kind of takes him through everything and she's real pretty.
Oh, from the past?
Yeah.
They're doing a past one?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
No, it's not.
Why would they do that? Is it the same
It's that whole era.
Is it the same actress?
Yeah.
Peggy Carter?
Yeah.
All right.
And so it's gonna show Tony Stark's dad and all that stuff. All that stuff in there.
The same actor?
Maybe. I don't know. I haven't really paid a lot of attention to it, so.
All right.
Now that we've talked all about television and everything else, we should probably talk about.
I'm telling you, Jules, we could do a non-gaming show and we'd have a good show.
Yes, we would. We could do anything we wanted to, because we can talk. But we're here to do this show.
I don't want to.
Yes, you do.
Fine, if you say so.
I'm telling you what you're doing. Marsha's telling you what you're doing. Oh, I gotta tweet the Ds.
Oh.
Hold on.
All right.
I've got to tweet all of the Ds.
I'm so excited for the Winter Soldier to come out in Blu-ray. I don't know when the pre-orders start, but I want mine. I was looking for it like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, I gotta pre-order, so I have it the day it was released, and I can't find the pre-order anywhere.
Tauren think tank. I can spell INKTANK.
It's based around a game, LVEV.
There we go.
Based around a game. It's all good. Don't worry.
We're focused around World of Warcraft because that's what we play.
We focused on the player. We've said that from a long time ago.
The World of Warcraft.
All right.
Stretch.
I'm going to sip of water first.
Yes. Is that water or is that something else?
It's water.
Okay.
Something else already went down.
I thought so. I thought I saw a little shot glass over there.
No, it's my little smoky cup, a little round thing.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
No more ice clinking.
No, I'm finished. Okay.
All right.
Wait, how do we do in the intro again? I forgot.
I can't reveal it now.
I'll figure it out. All right, ready?
I can't talk about it now because it's not.
Okay, we'll call it 12 minutes.
Did you know that?
Yes. Okay. I got it. I got it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Rem.
So, I don't know if you knew this or not, but we kind of conducted our very first Triple T sociological experiment last week. We did? Yes. We purposely got several facts wrong in order to elicit outrage responses.
Oh, right.
Yes. So this episode is dedicated to us trolling the internet.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 113 of TTT. It is August 30th of 2014. It is 10:05 in the PM on the East Coast. It is Labor Day weekend in the U.S. That is awesome. I lost my 3-day weekend. That's Jules. I'm Rem. Let us talk immediately about what I mentioned in the intro.
Yes. Hi, guys. Hi.
Hi.
So I don't think we necessarily clarified that enough in the intro, but we did perform an accidental social experiment.
We created a discussion topic for us to talk about that we created ourselves and purposely got several facts wrong just to see what the outrage would be like, because we wanted to pinpoint what outrage culture actually is. So we purposely messed up the date of the ending of World War I, and I still don't know what we messed up actually. And we got several thousand responses pointing out what we got wrong.
Okay, stop right there.
Okay.
And we'll tell you the real story. The real story was that when Ed gave us our discussion topic of last week, he mentioned that the date of November 11th was the end of World War II. In his email, this is exactly what he wrote, and this is what we read. Specifically, Blizzard has decided to delay the release of Warlords by a few days to avoid releasing on the anniversary of the end of World War II. Okay. Now, Rem and I are not historical experts. And the topic of the email wasn't necessarily about what the actual day was. It was about the whole outrage culture discussion.
Of course,
so
if I may, Jules, if we had been paying attention, or if I had been paying attention, it is November 11th is also Veterans Day.
It is Veterans Day.
Here in the U.S., and I'm off that day.
You're off that day, and I'm not, but that's okay. And, but the thing is about it that it just blew over both of our heads. It blew over all the chat room's heads because nobody said anything in the chat room.
Because we wanted to talk about outrage, not necessarily the release date.
And in the 2+ year history of Tauren Think Tank, we got more letters and tweets and things of people who told us that we were wrong.
Letters to our houses.
People showing up while we were at
my employer got picketed. I mean, it was terrible.
And so, we do apologize for the error. It was not intentional. It literally was that we just kind of blew over it on the email and nobody caught it. And most of you were actually really kind about it. And we said, hey, guys, you just made a small error in the show. November 11th is Veterans Day in the U.S. It's Remembrance Day or Armistice Day in most other countries. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, World War I ended, not World War II. Mm-hmm. And some people weren't so kind. Let's just put it that way. And some people had a little bit of fun with it and said, we're outraged. No, sorry, we're not. But you got this wrong. So we are sorry for that. We are sorry that it was incorrect. But at the same time, it wasn't really the point of the email.
But it illustrated our point perfectly, what we were trying to make of the outrage we experienced on the internet. Because as I said, when you get something wrong, you hear about it. But when you get things right, nobody will say a thing.
Well, and we've also said at that very same show, we tend to be extremely lucky in that when we do things right, people do tell us more often than other people do. But we watched this feedback come in. Both of us were like doing the same exact thing. We watched the feedback coming in and we watched it come in and we watched it come in and we were both just like, whoa. It was both. It just kind of took us both off guard. And finally on Thursday, Rem was like, my gosh, the feedback, you guys, like, holy crap. Yeah. And we didn't say anything about it because it was like, well, and we just kept thinking, well, it really wasn't the point of the email. I'm sorry. We'll just correct it on the show. But it really was important to some people. So we'll correct it on the show. Sorry for that.
What's funny is like a lot of that feedback came from overseas because Armistice Day, Remembrance Day is like in Canada and then over in Europe as well is a bigger holiday than it is here. The government and banks shut down on Veterans Day in the U.S., but most other employers will bring you to work on Veterans Day.
And we were given stories from Canada, on Canada at 11 o'clock on that day. It's a moment of silence at that specific time, and so it is something that's a little bit more tacked onto, I guess, or paid attention to than in the United States. We pay attention to the fact that it is a Remembrance Day.
We know when Kim Kardashian's birthday is, though. Don't worry.
No, I really don't. I really don't.
Shoot, I should have picked somebody more famous.
I thought this was, and it actually kind of did become our own social experiment.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Just to see all the feedback coming in. It's like, wow, everybody, you guys are still listening. That's awesome. But Lori in the chat room says, I guess I'm bad at social media because I really don't care. Well, thank you.
Okay. And we appreciate that people do care and they want to let us know that. It just made us both kind of scratch our heads a little bit that we got. And literally, it was the most feedback we have ever gotten on anything that we have ever done. and it was just because we got something wrong. So I thought that was kind of funny, but we thank you guys for taking the time to let us know, and we do apologize for the error. And the person who wrote the email said he wrote us back and said, "Oops, I messed up. Sorry." And so, but yeah, the whole thing about it not being released on November 11th was a purposeful thing in Blizzard's mind as it came out from Tom Chilton during Gamescom. It was an interview. He said, yeah, this is something we wouldn't do. So,
well, I mean, I don't know if you want to we don't have to get into a discussion or anything. Okay. But I just want to, why not just wait one more week at this point? Why do the whole, I mean, I know they don't want to do it on November 11th. Okay. I get it. Yeah. They have the reasons. Why do it on a Thursday? Why not push it to the next Tuesday?
I mean, the thing is, you're talking about getting towards the holidays and you're talking about raid season. And for the race to world first, every moment counts.
If they really cared about that, though, they would release it in October.
No, but they can't.
Let's, we can start talking about that too, if you want.
No, we're not. We've already done this discussion topic. So anyway, that is our clarification for the week. It's Labor Day weekend. So have you done anything Labor Day weekend?
Yeah, I've done a lot in relation to Labor Day, like labor, like lots of labor. Like I come back from vacation and it's 10-hour days. It's great. It's really great to work so much. And yeah, it's so awesome. So I can celebrate on Monday and then go back to work on my day off.
So you do have Sunday and Monday off.
I was supposed to have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday because Tuesdays are my normal days off, but they need me to come in. So I mean, yeah, it's great because I get paid overtime, which is cool. But I'm getting my full share of labor in to celebrate properly. I will also be refinishing my deck on Monday. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep.
I hear you're gonna do a little fit labor in there.
Yes, it's an old liquor fuel joke. I'm trying not to go there, so I'm stopping.
Okay, all right.
Yes, but Fit and I will be laboring.
Gotcha.
On Monday. But as far as I do have some gaming updates, Jules.
Yes.
I've played a lot of Doctor Who Legacy on my iPhone, which
nice.
is awesome. I listened to Fit play a game of Heroes of the Storm.
You listened?
I did. I listened to him play one because I was on the phone with him while he was playing, and I hopped into our Mumble channel to say hi this week. So there you go.
So we might be getting Rem slowly coming back to the Blizzard.
I got the itch. I've got the itch. So as we get closer to Warlords, you'll probably hear more updates of within the game from me.
Awesome.
But got the itchy fingers again. So
cool.
What's going on with you, Jules?
I've been working on my my Horde Druid, just playing and leveling sucks. I hate leveling.
What was the race again? Is it a Tauren?
It's a Tauren Druid. Yeah, of course. I mean, we might as well just stay true to the form. Mm-hmm. But
now we're not lying anymore.
I'm not. Actually, I'm not anymore because I have a Tauren Druid again.
Yeah, we're once again honest with our listeners.
Yes, always. So I've been enjoying, what I literally can do with this is to just go through dungeons, go through dungeons. I queue instantly. I can heal through anything. I don't worry about mana at any level right now. I think I'm level 44 right now. And so I have either a podcast on in the background and I'm just healing, just kind of going with the flow. So it's been fun to, do another level up.
Yeah, I'm sure it has.
But here's the problem when you do this.
Yeah.
Because you're not out questing. You're not being given the breadcrumb quest to get from one place to another.
Chain dungeons.
Yeah, so I'm just chaining dungeons. I can't get anywhere in the world because they took away all the flight paths.
That's right.
So I don't have a way to get there.
See?
So I literally waiting until I hit level 60 so I can get flight, so I can fly to places to get the flight path.
That's bullcrap. How is a new player supposed to play this game?
Well, you're not supposed to level through dungeons if you're.
But you're gonna take the easiest path to get there, right?
One would think, but you don't know the easiest path is.
But if somebody joins a guild and they say, "Hey, I need to level quick. How should I do it?" They'll say, "Run dungeons." Mm. Yeah, And then they're going to be, and plus you even without all the heirlooms, without all the bonuses, you still level super fast. So
man,
yeah, your quests are going gray, so you're not finishing areas.
Yeah, I have all the heirlooms. By the way, thank you, Blizzard,
you're welcome,
for creating the ability for you to send your heirlooms cross server to yourself. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I am leveling so fast because I have all of them. And it's just, and it's perfect because you in a level 25 guild, and with all the heirlooms, everything is upwards of 10% extra boost and all the extras that you get on top of that. I am just gunning. It is just great. But, yeah.
What AIE guild are you in?
Audacia.
Oh, I was hoping it was like Gravitas or something.
It's not Gravitas. I'm in the same one that Ben and John and all those folks are in. They put me in there. So,
okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, the one of these days I may try to do some raiding if I can. But this is the thing. I used my level 90 boost for my my paladin, and I'm like, dang it, why didn't I save that? And people are
you
like,
didn't want to shell out one. Yeah, $60.
And this is the thing. $60 makes me go, ugh. If it was 40, I might think about it.
If it was 20 in a heartbeat.
It's 20, no problem. $60 makes me go,
ugh. No. That's more than the expansion is.
And that's what it is. It's just like, so yeah, that's what I've been up to this week in World of Warcraft.
All right, Jules, it's time. Every once in a while we add new segments to the show. We don't do it often. When we do, it's for something special.
Yep.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to add a new segment to Triple T here in episode 113, if you don't mind.
Did we talk about this?
No, but you know how I like to surprise you with things. So I actually have a bumper for it. So.
And now, it's time for the Doctor Who Review with Rem.
That's right.
No!
That's right. It's the Doctor Who Review with me. I am Rem. Thank you so much.
Rem!
What?
This is not a Doctor Who podcast.
No, but it's about stuff that we enjoy, so I figured it would be okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm going to give my opinion and my thoughts on the episode. Last week's episode, because we record on Saturdays. I can't exactly watch the current episode. So last week's episode, the season premiere of season 8, Deep Breath. Okay, if you allow me a moment. Okay. I liked it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
That's everything.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Not
bad, right?
Not at all.
Okay. So now, Jules, if we have nothing else to talk about, let us get into our discussion topic, of which we don't have a proper bumper for, but discussions.
Oh my God. Oh, and then scene. Okay. This discussion topic is all mine, kids. This one came from me. I was in the car on the way home from work, and this one kind of dawned on me. And so I texted Rem the next day, and he goes, "Word." I like consider that to be a good thing.
Real quick, Ben and I text back and forth a lot. Ben from Azeroth Roundtable.
Yes.
And then when we're done, I'll say "word," and then he'll text back "what," just like the song.
Word.
Yeah. What? Then I say "word" again. He's like, "What?" Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so here's the discussion topic of the week. I think you guys will enjoy this one. So we're coming from the culture, the American culture perspective, because Rem and I are both Americans. So this may be very different for those that don't live in America, but I think it's something that people who don't live in America can also relate to. We have a culture where we work really hard with very little free time as a general rule. As kids, we're usually encouraged to be doing something productive with your time. Don't just sit there and play video games all day, or, make sure you're doing something productive, or, learn something, read a book, go play with your friends. And then when we get older and if we go finish school and we go get a job, many Americans, we only get about 2 weeks of paid time off a year until you work hard enough and long enough to earn more time off. But then if you earn more time off, you tend to get more pressure, because if you try to use that time off, your job is so busy that it's hard for you to leave that job. Okay, so that's the stage set. Do you think, Rem and audience, that our culture as Americans contributes to how strongly people react to things that they feel threaten that precious free time that we get? So like for gaming, an example, when things change in our games, when things aren't the way we want them to be, you get interrupted with, maintenance that's not expected. Does that reaction become more severe when we see a perceived threat to our free time?
I think it does. I mean, you just have to look at, excuse me, patch days in WoW and the reaction that the internet gives to it, like extended maintenance, that type of thing. People have a day off on a Tuesday, and boy, what am I going to do with my day off? I'm going to play some WoW. And they go to log in, nope, in maintenance. And you're like, oh, well, damn you. I wanted to play, and now you're not letting me. And what am I supposed to do with the rest of my free time today? I think the fact that we get very little, many of us get very little free time. Mm-hmm. When something threatens that, you're absolutely right. It does. We have a more visceral, I don't want to say violent, but we have a more visceral, violent reaction to that because we want our stuff, we want our fun, and we want it now because we don't have time for it another, any time else, any other time.
Right.
So, yeah.
So do you think that our culture creates some of the what would be said as nerd rage over things that are beyond control? So extended maintenance or unscheduled maintenance.
I think our culture does contribute to nerd rage, but not in the way you're talking about here.
Oh, tell me more.
I think, this is good. This is interesting. We have a lot of self-entitlement in our world these days, right? And that leads because I want my game and I want it now and you're not giving it to me. I want my paladin to play this way and you're not allowing me to. There's a lot of self-entitlement. Where does that come from? Well, we can go back to when they started giving trophies to everybody for participating. You're a special snowflake and you're a special snowflake and you're a special snowflake and we're all special snowflakes, but then all of a sudden we become just snowflakes. But we have kids growing up these days feeling like the world owes them something, because that's the message we've sent to them. Nike, just do it. You're special. You are amazing. You don't have to work for anything. The world is going to be handed to you. So we have a lot of older teenagers, young adults who enter the world in this weird headspace of that they don't have to work hard because things are going to be handed to them. I want my game and I want it now, and you're keeping it from me, and that's not fair. And you're not allowing me to enjoy myself and my fun.
See, now this is two separate things because you and I both come from an era of time where we weren't made the special snowflakes. We were taught hard work and effort got you the things that you wanted. And if you didn't put in the effort and you didn't put in the work, you could fail. Right?
Yeah.
I think that's how your parents raised you too.
Well, I mean, that's how I learned in my soccer team. We finished 4th in the tournament one year, and we got they gave trophies for 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then this tiny little thing for 4th place, and we threw them in the garbage because they didn't mean anything to us.
Right.
But now my son played t-ball. They didn't have any sort of tournament, and they all got trophies for participating in t-ball this year.
Right.
And I felt weird when he was like so proud of that little thing that just said he played. He didn't. I love my son to death. His team didn't do anything to earn a trophy.
Right. They just showed up.
They just showed up, and now he kind of expects a trophy for everything.
Yeah. And so there's these two mindsets, and this is going in a really good, different direction. I like this. This is awesome. So I think that when you go down the road of being the person raised for like life is hard and this is how you do it, and you have to learn how to earn it, but by working hard and moving around and you just focus on work and work and work and work, then free time becomes super precious. Mm-hmm. When you talk about the generation that's coming up right now, when you say, are you you expect that your free time is going to be given to you, as you're saying, it's entitlement. So is it worse on that side because people are already saying, I don't know if I'm saying this right.
I think what you want to try, what you may be trying to say, I know what I'm thinking as you're saying it, is that we have two different mindsets dealing with that lack of free time differently. Where one side is saying, well, I don't have this to do in my free time, so I can adjust and do something else. Where another side is saying, I want to do this in my free time. You're not letting me do this in my free time. Now I'm really pissed at you for it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to make an adjustment. So, well, you could do something else. No. I want to do this, and you give it to me now.
And so, is one worse than the other?
Oh yeah.
Which one?
The person who can adjust their free time to doing something else that's enjoyable is much more adjusted and much more suited for life.
Yeah.
Than the other is.
But yet at the same time, like you and I would probably be up. You were off on a Tuesday like you are, and it's maintenance day, and you're like, okay, I know it's maintenance day. It's my day off. I'm going to plan on playing, but then maintenance gets extended for another 2 hours, and you go,
I mean, sure, it's annoying. Everybody, it's perfectly fine to be annoyed by something like that, but it's how you react to it beyond the annoyance. The initial annoyance is like, oh, well, damn it, I can't do what I wanted to do. So now what do you do? In my case, I was off on Tuesdays a lot. Tuesday is my normal day off now.
Right.
I have every Tuesday off now. A couple weeks ago, I wanted to play Hearthstone, and I couldn't. So did I throw my iPad against the wall or get on the forums and start yelling at Blizzard for having maintenance on Tuesdays? No, I found another game to play, or I went and saw what my daughter was doing. I mean, but there's a generation of people now who don't know what else to do or how to properly respond to not being allowed to do what they want to. Mm-hmm. We've got messages being thrown at us saying, live your own life, make your own happiness, do what you want to do, without any regard to anything else. It's all about you, and you. We have a very self-centered culture. Mm-hmm. And they're not given, they don't grow up learning the tools how to deal with not being given what you want.
Yeah, and honestly, that is one of the major things that is a struggle for me and Kane with raising our daughter, my stepdaughter, is to try to help her deal with disappointment and to deal with things that won't go your way. And when you don't get what you want, and the value of working hard to earn it, not just because it's been given to you. And sometimes things just suck. Sometimes maintenance gets extended. Sometimes things don't go the way it's supposed to go. And everybody has challenges in dealing with that in different ways. It's all about your mindset. It's all about your stress level. When you're stressed out, something not going your way, or a bunch of things not going your way, can really just totally rattle you. It did for me this week. I was super stressed out this week for some personal reasons. And I had on Thursday, I had this day where nothing was going right. And the last thing that happened in the day was like, it just threw a monkey wrench in a bunch of stuff, and I had enough, and I just melted down. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it, because I was stressed out. And my mind wasn't, okay, I'll deal with it, roll with the punches, because I wasn't in that right mindset. And when we deal with stress, and when we deal with pressure, and then we deal with freshest little free time, it's always about doing this and making sure you're productive and making sure you put in the time with your family and the time with your job, and the groceries need to be gotten, and you need to make sure you mow the lawn, and all the responsibility thingies.
Yeah.
It's just, that's where I think our culture can be so different than when you hear about some places like in Europe where they take 3 weeks off. Everybody takes 3 weeks off in the summertime.
Yeah, we put a weird focus on this is gonna sound weird. We put a weird focus on work here in the States, where like in Italy, there's not enough jobs to go around, so they have at least in where my father is from. They have co-op jobs where you work half a day, somebody else comes in, does the same job the rest of the day at lunch or something, because there's not enough going around. I mean, here, so I don't know what I was trying to make with that point. I think I'm going along with it. And they also have like 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of vacation. I mean, France shuts down for a month, right? When I was in French class, they had month-long vacations or some.
Yeah, I mean, I work for a company. The parent company is in Canada. It's in Montreal, and the folks who own it are from France. And so they close for 2 weeks in the summer, and they close for 2 weeks in the Christmas time.
Right.
And over Christmas. And my office, the people who work in my office, I'm not like this, but everybody else kind of goes, blah, we lose 4 weeks of selling time every year is the way that they see it.
Right. And that's kind of what I was trying to get at, and I lost my train of thought. But yes, we're so focused on the bottom line and getting work done. Work. Oh boy, this is going off in my head right now.
Go for it. Take it.
I don't know where I'm going to go with it. I don't know how it's going to happen. But we have this. It goes back to the two generation things. We have one generation that's focused on that bottom line and getting and working hard and making that dollar, and then we have this other one coming. It's not like, oh no, I'll get to it when I get to it. I mean,
no, it's true. And you're talking about another generation that work ethic is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they expect that the job is going to be there. It is a little bit more of that European mindset, not necessarily the entitlement. But if you talk about in the European mindset, in the European culture, a lot of places it's like super, super difficult to fire anybody from a job.
Yeah.
Because they're not like the U.S. There's not the high level of competition for a position. Like you're going to be afraid to get fired if you're late too many times. They just don't have that mindset. And so the differences between the two, it changes a whole lot of things, and things move slower. I mean, I went to Hawaii. I've been to Hawaii twice in my life when I was in my 20s. And this is a true story. When you get to Hawaii and you get out of the airport and you start driving to your destination, there is not a single road in Hawaii that is over 25 miles an hour. So when you come from where we are now,
yeah,
and all you can drive is 25 miles an hour, you sit there and go, you like vibrate because it feels like you are crawling. It feels like you are never going to get there. It feels like everybody is so slow. And then you spend a few days there, and then you spend a couple more days there, and 25 miles an hour feels really, really, really fast because it's the mindset. It's the calming. It's the we'll get there when we get there. And this attitude of just go with the flow and enjoy your time and relax and don't stress out. And when you leave Hawaii, you feel like you could take on the world because you're just like, there's no stress.
Right.
Everybody's really casual and calm, and there's no rushing. But we do live in that society of that kind of thing. And so it's two very different cultures that are going to collide very soon. And they're colliding now, especially in this gaming culture, where you want something and you want it now, and you don't take no for an answer.
Just to go back to what I was saying just a few minutes ago, Solomio in the chat room kind of says it perfectly. There's two mindsets: work hard and get done early, or work just hard enough so you finish just within the time allotted. That's kind of there. But yeah, I mean, go into the gaming culture, especially in this world of everything at your fingertips. I mean, I was talking with Fit the other day, and we were talking about when we were in high school, and it's like, could you imagine having a device that allowed you the world's worth of information in an instant when you were in high school? Can you imagine having that and having every answer to every question you ever needed? And we look at each other like, well, they have that now. Right?
They do.
How do you process that much information when you're 15 years old? And at
and
what
there
point,
are worries about that, about having so much information available that it's almost going to be too much.
Yeah. And at what point are teachers irrelevant? Because you can just teach yourself. I mean, you can't teach yourself how to read and write in first, second, third grade, of course. But
right.
I mean, that's a whole other thing too. But it just this weird time that we're in, and I've mentioned this weird time period that we're in now in our history. It's just where everything is so readily available. We don't know how to deal with that. We want it. We're used to getting it now, and when we don't get it now, we freak out.
Right.
Remember when you could have your pizza delivered in 30 minutes or it's free?
Yes.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, because they realize they can't do that anymore. But
lose money.
It's kind of like, we're at the 30 minutes or it's free thing now. If maintenance isn't done in 3 hours, you're going to refund me those 15 minutes I wasn't able to play Blizzard. God, those tweets used to drive me crazy.
I know.
You remember? I remember when one of the big Pandaria patches, and it was late, and it was dragging on for like 5 hours. And people were just freaking out. And we did the math, and it was something like 27 cents Blizzard owed you if they have to pay you for those 5 hours or some nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
But people can't handle that. They can't handle being told no these days. And even grown adults who you think would grow up with the same mindset as you and I, they can't handle that too now because they've been so used to getting things right away.
Yeah. I mean, you go out to the answer of why is this? Because you're used to getting things right away or you feel entitled to it.
Yeah.
You're paying money for it. Therefore, you are entitled for the service. And I feel like I know that I can be a really tough customer when I don't get the kind of service that I expect, but it's also, like, for instance, if you go into a restaurant and you sit down, this happened to Kane and I about a year ago. We sit down in this restaurant and nobody came to serve us. It was 15 minutes. And I was just like, we'd had a long day. It was just like, where are your people? You expect someone's going to come to your table, say, hi, can I get you some drinks, some water, something? Nobody came for 15 minutes. So I said to him, like, let's just go. And then the manager saw us leaving and he's like, oh, why? And I said, you didn't have anybody here for 15 minutes. We've been sitting here and now you come over here. And I got pissed off. I was really mad because I was just like, he tried to keep us there. He's like, I'm going to get my best waitress to help you. And it's like, but why didn't you have it now? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you have it before? It was a mistake. And so, it was, and people make them. It's, the operations don't work the way they should.
Well, think of this. We've got, generally your wait staff in a restaurant. You have some older folks who have been there a while, and they're your good ones, and you have some newer ones coming along who are younger, maybe just out of high school, just starting college, in that age area there. And they're used to a world where they get everything, but they don't necessarily have to provide anything. So where do they learn good customer service from? They don't care.
Yeah,
right?
They don't.
Right, and especially if they're at a job where they're not going to get yelled at because, oh, well, whatever. They could care less. So now you have this mindset where, no, you owe me, but your job is to serve somebody. So how does, there's that conflict there. How do you process that then?
Well, in a good environment with that should value that kind of service. If you're a wait staff, you're going to get poor tips. You're going to get people complaining about you, and then your boss is eventually either going to discipline you or fire you. Mm-hmm. And that's how you would learn. But it's unfortunate. But that's how it's going to come in, is that people, rather than being taught a strong work ethic ahead of time, that might very well be the way that they learn, is by harshly falling on their face.
Yeah.
And then learning that way, which I think everybody needs to do at some points, is to literally fall on your face.
Yeah, and the problem with falling on your face is actually falling on your face, just like you said, because we have this also, part of this culture is somebody falls down, oh no, you'll be okay. Your boss is just a jerk.
Yeah.
Your boss is just being mean to you. That's ridiculous. You'll find a job someplace else. You keep being you. You're great. You're perfect just the way you are. You didn't do anything wrong. So then how are they supposed to learn the lesson?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why there's so much therapy going on for that kind of thing, because it's a value system that isn't helpful for people to learn how to, when everybody tells you that you're great, or your family always tells you you're great and you're wonderful and you've never done anything wrong and you've never been given a lesson, mm-hmm. You'll never learn how to be happy, because everything will be about, oh, it's fine, instead of learning how to do it yourself. And that is the one thing that makes me insane when my stepdaughter says, I can't do it. I can't. I don't know how. Because I look at her and say, well, then figure it out and try.
Yeah.
Just, do something to try. Use your brain, use your problem solving skills, think it through. What would you do next if you had to fix this yourself and there was nobody here? And to try and teach her those problem solving skills. Now, getting back to the whole thing about people feeling this entitlement and getting upset about things related to the anger and the frustration and the yelling and the screaming that happens towards the people who run these things. I'm going to take this one more direction, and I want to see where you go with it.
All right.
Do you think that people automatically expect that someone is trying to step all over them? The automatic reaction is they're doing this to me, rather than thinking about something might have just happened where
Yes.
things didn't happen the way they should have.
Nowadays, yes. Now I do. And it goes back to being given everything that you want when you want it. And when you're not given that, they're doing it purposely to you. They're stepping on you and they're holding you down, man. He's holding you down because you can't play your game.
Right.
Yeah, and people take it personally instead of stepping back from the situation and trying to look at it from afar and realize what the big picture is.
Right.
Everyone's focused on themselves and what they cannot have at that moment.
Right. So in that respect, when people are going, oh, we'll see, if Blizzard had gotten their crap together, we would have had the expansion 2 months ago.
I do that too.
And you do that too. So I wanted to give you that little part because I know you said that.
Hold on. In my defense, Blizzard had said things coming out of BlizzCon last year. We're further along than we were with Mists of Pandaria. We want to get this release faster to you than ever before. Stuff like that. Our development is going well. They said those things to lead you to believe this was coming along quicker.
And don't you think that maybe it was actually true at the time? But I mean, this is how I think that it was true at the time. But as things progressed, they realized they overestimated, they overpromised.
That's fine. They made a mistake. That's fine. However, addressing it 2 months before the game is released, not fine. If they were having problems, they need to be upfront with their paying customers about it. Be like, listen, we're falling a little bit behind. And I know the reaction that gets. Oh, Blizzard, how could you be falling behind? You should have your stuff together. I understand that happens. That's why they don't do it. And it's sad. It's sad they can't have an adult conversation with their audience. Okay, that's the worst part of it. Blizzard can't tell you they're running behind because they're going to get crap for it nonstop. So it kind of hurts everybody because we can't be mature enough to take that message and be like, oh, okay, they're doing the best they can. We don't say that anymore.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of this is weird. We've created, I hate saying we because I don't like including myself in that because I'm better than that.
So true.
But we've created this environment where we criticize. And then when somebody tries to be honest about something, we don't allow them to. They have to lie. They have to make up stories or not tell you things so they don't get more criticism. But then they get criticism for it anyways.
I know. They really can't win. And so that part is the challenge and the obstacle of being in the position that they are, because you have people that are so, circling back again, there are people that are so dedicated to spending their free time in this, in this world, in this virtual world. So is it something that is, I think what I wanted to put the thought process forward is people just to think about how we react to things and why we react to things and what circumstances cause us to do that. Is it our culture as Americans that makes that happen? I think yes.
Yes, I agree.
And so, it's something that we should all think about in all things. And, as I was talking about earlier, when I was reacting negatively towards things because I was having a very stressful time, a very stressful week personally. And so it clouded everything that I was doing, and I had to kind of find my zen. I had to find the calm and just be able to take everything out and just be like, all right, I can't control some of this stuff.
Find your mellow with Booger the Nerd.
Yes, exactly.
Be here for pre-show, folks.
Yes, exactly. Hey guys, Wonder Joints. Talking about Revenge of the Nerds and pre-show. Anyway, so that is what I needed to do. Is I needed to find my zen. I needed to find my comfort zone. I needed to find the place where I wasn't being clouded. My reactions were being clouded by things. And so, and I think that a lot of us have that, and it's hard to step out of that mode. And I am interested to hear from people who don't live in America and have, and what the culture kind of dictates. If it is, Americans are perceived to be a lot more stressed out and therefore a lot more reactionary when it's stressed out related to that.
To close up my end of this, I think we're coming to an end here.
Yes.
I've been listening to a lot more music lately, and I was listening to a song today. It was by the band AWOL Nation. It's called Jump on My Shoulders, and there was a line in it I wanted to use tonight, and I'm so glad. I totally forgot we were having this discussion, so this kind of fits perfectly. Good. And it was, it's not supposed to be easy, but it feels so effing good.
Yep.
Okay. That's it for me.
So thank you guys for being a part of this discussion topic. If you'd like to send us your own discussion topics, please do. This one just happened to hit me, so we put it in there. But you guys have been contributing to discussions for many, many weeks, so please do that as well. questions@taurentthinktank.com is the email address where you can send them.
And now your favorite music is starting to pick up in the background. You can hear it. There it is. It's called Wallpaper by Kevin MacLeod. And we play it every time we talk about stuff that makes us happy. And we're willing to wait. Yep. We're totally willing to wait for this wonderful product. It is a Doghouse Systems computer, the best gaming PC on the planet, possibly planets. No, just planet.
There could be more than one.
There could be more than one. You don't know, whatever universe you're living in. I'm sure we are broadcast throughout the cosmos. So
yes.
Welcome to Triple T. But let's tell you about dogghoussystems.com, where you can go and you can pretty much get everything you need to play all these games, especially Warlords of Draenor, coming November 13th, which is not Armistice Day or Remembrance Day. No. But as a listener of Triple T, and welcome again from the planet Wuviak, you can go to dogghoussystems.com, and Jules will tell you what happens when you do, because we got a special deal for you.
We do. We've got double the memory on any new gaming system. So all you have to do is go to dogghoussystems.com, and then when you get to checkout, enter this code. It's TTT at checkout for Tauren Think Tank. You get double the memory on your brand new gaming system, and you get an amazing system with fantastic customer service. None of the junk that you get on a corporate PC where you've got all the little add-ons, things that you don't want to be loaded on there. It is only the things that you want, and the games that you want, the Blizzard games you want. You want Diablo 3 on there? You got it. You want Warcraft on there? Sure, they'll load it. So tell them what you like. They're going to ask you. And then you can put it on your PC for you. So dogghoussystems.com. Thank you for your support, Doghouse. We love you guys. They're awesome.
That's right. Dogghoussystems.com, TTT. Get double the memory. Zyserv in a chat room says, I highly doubt Triple T being broadcast throughout the cosmos. Your cast wouldn't be caught from another planet for 100 to 1,000 years. Zyserv, it's called Yes and. Let's do the think tank.
Let's do it.
We read your... because reading your mind would just be creepy.
And now, the think tank. And actually, I think I have to get it started, don't I?
If you want me to read it, I can.
No, I got it. I'm good. I didn't scroll down to see it, but I remembered it was in blue.
It's in blue.
Because I did look at the notes before I called you tonight. Yay. I know, it's crazy. Hey, Rem and Jules, it's me again. You may remember me from when I wrote in previously to ask how to get my parents to let me play WoW and how to deal with a friend getting bullied. However, I am writing in again with another problem. I have been playing a lot more this summer and even got into normals. I went from a couple pieces of flex gear, but mostly gear that I got when I boosted, to normal Siege of Orgrimmar gear. However, things began to go down the drain. First, my grand-aunt died, which was very distressing. Next, my girlfriend dumped me with a paltry excuse that she was moving to China, which I know is a lie. Finally, I was hit by a severe hack and lost some serious money. I have lost my passion for WoW now, and I don't know what to do. I used to enjoy raiding progression, even when we got stuck, and I feel that my team still needs me. We downed Iron Juggernaut and are working on Dark Shamans. However, just logging onto WoW has become a huge struggle. My depression returned, and even doing my normal routine is harsh for me. I really want to continue to raid, but it just seems like a struggle now. I see that many people are taking a break before Warlords of Draenor, but I feel that my team still needs me. What do I do? Thanks for the amazing show. With love and kind feelings, Torrance.
Oh, our poor Torrance. This is not good news for our friend Torrance, because there's a lot going on, and so this is going to be another discussion about depression, but it's an active discussion about depression, I think, because it's talking directly on how to function and what to do and how to get yourself back on the horse again.
Let's go back in time and remind everybody that Torrance is in high school.
Yes, Torrance, I believe, was in high school. I think he's probably still in high school, but the previous questions were related to in high school, and asking for his parents to understand his time playing games and that kind of thing. So. And then his friend was being bullied because of playing WoW, and he was the one that got his friend into playing the game.
All right, so. I'm going to solve all your problems, Torrance. No, I'm not. But your girlfriend moving to China that she dumped you, move on. There's plenty more coming at you. You're still young. Don't worry about that. Your grand aunt dying. I'm sorry. That sucks. Severe hack, lost some serious money. I wish we had a little more explanation of what that means.
Yeah. But it's stress. It's a lot of stress and grief.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress. You lost your passion for WoW, and you feel your team needs you, but you're no good to your team if you're not any good playing, right? So if you can't focus on what you're doing and you're not having a good time, you're kind of going to hamper them a little bit because you can't hide those feelings forever. They'll start to pick up on the vibes. You'll start getting quieter and mumble, or you won't be as into it. You won't be paying as much attention because you'll be watching TV or whatever. And at some point, you're going to start hurting them.
Mm-hmm. He's here, by the way, and says junior high before, and he's now in high school.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So, I mean, you've got a whole lot going on, too. School's just starting back up. School is your most important thing. All right. That's going to take precedence over everything. Jules, I'm going to tell him, hey, listen, take a break.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So your thoughts are, you need to take a break. Okay, go ahead.
I say, once you start feeling like you don't have passion for the game, you really got to reassess what you're doing and where you are. Because if you don't have passion, playing more is not going to get that passion back. Being away from it is what's going to get that itch going. I got the itch in my finger, and I've been away from the game for a little bit.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
So.
And I lost my passion. I absolutely lost my passion. I hated logging in, and I did not like raiding anymore. I loved the raid team. Don't get me wrong. I did not like raiding. Mm-hmm. And with having to get up so early with the new job, it just became such a hassle. And I knew my attitude was bringing everybody down because I wasn't as into it as they needed me to be. So I took a break.
Yep. But it took you a long time to come to that realization.
It did, because I was I felt the team needed me. I was there. In the last few months that I was actively playing as much, I was only logging into raid because I felt I was the raid leader. They needed me there. I don't believe Torrance is a raid leader here.
No, but it doesn't really matter. He still feels that his team needs him. So there's very strong similarities between those two things. And so that is a great lead into what I was going to say with this. I do agree with you that he needs to take a break, but we need to talk about why. And it's not just because he has had some other things going on in his life. It's not just about that. It's also about taking care of yourself and giving yourself permission to do those things that you want to do. Mm-hmm. Because I think what happens, and I think you can attest to this, is that when you get committed into something like a raid team where you've spent time with these people and you have relationships that got built, that you could, that you feel like you are going to let them down, so you just keep showing up because you don't want to bear the opportunity, the feeling of them being disappointed in you. But what's happening is that over time, they can tell that you're just not into it anymore. Mm-hmm. You're not all there. Your passion isn't there. You're not excited to be there. And it just tapers off until the point where it almost like, I think a lot of us do this, where we almost give ourselves permission to leave only when everybody else has been like, can you just do it already?
Yeah. Can
you just make the decision to just do it already? Because clearly you don't want to be here. But most of the time we don't get there. Because it's until that point, until everybody's just kind of like, it's clear you don't want to be here. It's fine. Just go. They give you permission to go, and it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But what concerns me with Torrance's email is that he has had a lot of things that have happened in his life that are very significant. He's had a lot of loss. He's lost a family member dealing with permanent, death. Is permanent. It's a hard thing to deal with when you're young. When you've had heartbreak, when someone has dumped you for a reason that seems pretty flimsy, it's a self-esteem issue. And then you have someone who violates your trust by taking your money. This is really, really tough. These are 3 things in here that are difficult to deal with. And this goes back to our conversations a lot of episodes ago about self-care, about how it's okay to say, I need some time for myself. I need to take time for myself and get some help. with the things that I'm going through. I understand that most of us would say, oh, your girlfriend dumped you. Don't worry, there's other fish in the sea. You'll be fine. But you've got to get past those feelings of this girl dumped me and left me and told me she was moving to China, and I don't believe her. This makes me feel X, Y, and Z. This makes me feel like I'm not worthy. This makes me feel like I am someone who is undesirable because they'd make an excuse rather than be truthful with me. My grand aunt has passed away and I didn't expect it, or it's hurting, it's hard, the family's upset. How do you deal with grief? So all of those things are difficult, and it takes time, and it all happened at one time. Because I've dealt with all of this. I've dealt with being dumped. I've dealt with death. I've dealt with people taking advantage of my trust. And when you happen to have it happen all at once, it's really hard to deal with that. And I can see why he's not really wanting to commit, but yet he's still being conscientious to his team. And I would say that you have some time now, Torrance, to say, I need to take some time for myself. And, I know you feel like you're going to be disappointing your raid team, and maybe you will. But at the same time, it's about what you need and not what about, if you're not going to give it all, be there with them, what's the point of going?
I'm so sorry, Jules. I cannot get this out of my head. Torrance, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. But their excuse of moving to China just is making me laugh inside. I know it's painful and I know it's terrible, but he's saying in the chat room that he knows it's a lie. I really want to talk to him and ask him why he knows it's a lie, because
he said I have to run into where he lives. He knows she's not.
So why would you say she's moving to China? That's the stupidest excuse ever. I'm sorry. He knows it's a lie, just making me laugh. Listen. I find humor in things when I shouldn't, and I do apologize. I think my chat room just stopped working. That sucks. So you got a whole bunch of loss going on. Jules is absolutely right. Now I'm distracted by this crap. I'm going to lose my. Okay. But I mean, at the same time, how long do you want to allow yourself to be sad? Right? Because you can be sad for a very long time and it can affect the rest of your life, or you can kind of take a deep breath, reflect on the loss, learn from it. I mean, you're not going to learn much from the death. I'm so sorry about that, but I mean,
no, you're going to learn a lot from that.
You're
going to learn a lot from that, because it is learning how to focus on and how to come to terms with something that is permanent like that.
Yeah.
And dealing with grief and all of that type of thing is something that a lot of people don't get to experience until they're older. And they may have more time to be able to process it or whatever happens. It's just, it's really, really tough, especially when it's family. And if you're close to that person, he doesn't say. But in any case, dealing with death is a very emotional, it's a long emotional process. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is, how long are you going to allow yourself to be sad? Because you still have a lot more going on, a lot more to look forward to, and a lot more that's coming up.
Yeah.
So you can be sad for a little while, learn from it, and kind of move forward. But I mean, yeah, it's like Jules is right. A lot of loss, and you've lost your passion, and it just goes back to, take a break. Take some time for yourself, figure out where you want to be right now and then work from there.
Talking about the ex-girlfriend situation for just a moment. What it does when you have something like this, when someone can't be honest with you and tell you exactly why they chose not to be with you anymore, it's almost more difficult than it is if someone just said, you know what, it's not you, it's me, that whole thing. When they make up a lame excuse to tell you that they don't want to be with you anymore, it's because they're a coward.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they can't bring themselves to actually be honest with that person. But that's the kind of thing that you look at and say, I want to make sure that I don't find someone like her again. What were the things? Because now that you're not in the situation and maybe you don't have kind of the rosy attitude that you had about her, what were the things that were not right in the relationship? Because there had to be some. There had to be some. And so and that's the kind of thing that you learn from, that you take in and say, I'm going to look for someone who listens to me or is is interested in what I have to say. So, there's a lot you can take from that. But it's this time that you can take to kind of reflect on it. And I feel bad for him. I feel like he's gone through a really rough road, and so he needs to take some time for himself, but he has to do it in a way that's going to be constructive, because if you just stop playing the game and then you just kind of sit there and let depression take over, where you just don't do anything, you're just kind of sitting in front of the television, blah, 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 it's not going to help you get past some of the things. You've got to do some self-reflection. You've got to maybe talk to a counselor or a guidance counselor. There's a lot of things that you can do to kind of talk through some of the feelings that you're having. So, but it sucks that you have to deal with this. I mean, we've all been dumped. We all know what it feels like, and it sucks. But you do get over it if you work through it and you let the emotions come through.
Yeah, let's talk about therapy for a second, because it's something I have recent experience with. I put my therapy in a context talking to somebody a few days ago. It is a great place for me to go and complain. I complain about all the things that are bothering me. Somebody without any judgment sits there, listens to me, offers some advice or some questions, asks me questions, sometimes challenges me, and I get it out of my system, and then I feel great. And I liked what you said about the guidance counselor. I mean, that's what they're there for at school. I mean, if you need somebody to talk to, Torrens, and you can't do it with your parents, I was lucky. I always had my mom. And she's back in the chat room tonight after an absence. So welcome back, Mommy. But I've always had my mom to be able to go to and talk to about things, even some of my toughest times when I was being bullied in school, and she was always there. Not everybody has that, and that kind of sucks. But there are resources available, especially in school these days, in your guidance counselors and probably some therapists who work for the school, if there are any, who will sit there and listen, and just listen, and not really try to fix you or change you, because you don't need fixing. You just need a place to talk.
Yes. And so, that's what they are trained for.
Yeah. So I would look into that. If you feel like there's a lot you need to get off your chest, try it, because you don't want to hold all that stuff in, because holding it in makes it really hard to get past, because it's still there. You're not stepping over it. You're holding on to it. Yeah. So if it's really bugging you, look into talking to somebody.
Yeah. And it's a rare friend that you can have where you can sit down and just say, I just need to vent, and I don't need you to tell me anything like, you'll get over her, or there's plenty of fish in the sea, or you'll be fine, don't worry about it. You just want someone to hear you. And that is something, it's a very valuable thing. And if anybody has that gift, it is a gift to be able to do that, to be able to sit and listen to people vent and talk about the things. And Arcane and I try to do that as well, with each other. Is like, I don't need you to help me, I just need you to listen to me. I just need to say it, and I need to get it off my chest, and then I'll be good. And that is what, and he had to do that after he got home from work tonight. I just had to listen to him talk about things, because that's what he wanted to do, was just kind of vent about the things that happened to him.
Talking all the time.
I know, right? He
God,
so much.
Keep it in, Kane. Nobody wants to hear it.
Leave him alone. Stop picking on Kane.
I said Mama Rem's in the chat room, and everybody's saying hi, Mama Rem, but I think she fell asleep.
She probably did.
I love Kane. Kane, I'm just teasing.
Yep.
Gosh.
And Jen Morton made a really good suggestion too. Try journaling or writing or blogging about what you and have information, or just have a place where you can write it down. Because sometimes once you've gotten it on paper, or put it out there in something, you can just kind of take it and let it go, and get your feelings out of there. And you go back and you read them, and you're like, wow, I really felt differently then than I do now. That's a great suggestion. Thank you, Jen. So, but I do think that there's a lot here that is a struggle, and I would like to make sure that he takes care of himself, takes care of what's happening, talks about them, and moves around there. So it's just, I I'm just hopeful that things will, and I believe things will get better, but you have to make sure that you do it the right way. And it is fine to take a break right now and talk to your team and just go through that. So there you go.
And just this is cool. Just to close out my end of this bargain. So where he says, my depression returned and even doing my normal routine is harsh for me. I wouldn't worry about WoW until your normal routine becomes easy again.
Yes.
All right. Get your normal routine back on track. Get you back on track. Feel good again. Your raid team, listen, it's a video game. They'll find somebody else to take your spot. And then when Warlords drops, it's flexible raiding. You're not going to lose a spot in the team. Take care of you. Get your routine back on track. Then worry about the game.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So good luck to you, Torrance. And we hope to hear again how things are going. I hope that it's going to be a good update that's coming to us soon. But good luck. You've got a lot going on right now.
All right. So thank you, Torrance, for writing in. Thank you guys for being in the chat. I tweeted earlier tonight, so I can't wait to see our chat room again because our chat room is like nonstop offering because Torrance is in our chat room.
Yes.
And there's giving him suggestions and lots of, hey, there you go, that type of stuff.
Yeah. And no, they're giving great suggestions and also supportive
that's what I meant to say.
Messages as well, that they've dealt with that as well. Same kinds of things.
I couldn't find that word, support. Yeah. It was lost in my head. All right, so if you want to send a question into the think tank, it is questions@taurenThinkTank.com. The mailbox is always open. We would love to see your emails. Jules, you ready for some Tell Us One Thing?
Let's have some fun.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Hit it.
All right, from Memeth. This BlizzCon, you're going as Don't Try This, Adam Savage from Mythbusters. Costume style is Adam Incognito. Who do you dress up as and why them? So do you know about this? Do you know what he does?
No.
Okay. He goes to like Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, and dresses up in costumes or other cons. And dresses up in costumes that no one will recognize him. So he's got some kind of a mask or a helmet on. Yeah. And then people have to try to figure out that this is Adam Savage from Mythbusters. And it's pretty cool. So, and some other celebrities have picked up on this. So like at Comic-Con this past year, the guy who plays Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe.
Nobody will recognize him anyways.
Oh, yeah,
he's like a grown man now.
He still looks like Harry Potter, but he dressed up like Spider-Man. So he had the full Spider-Man costume, and no one knew it was him. And
then he had to be a jerk and tell everybody that he dressed up as Spider-Man?
Afterwards, he kind of pulled off the mask and made it so everyone's
hey,
like,
idiots, look at me. I've been fooling you the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, and the girl who plays Arya Stark did the same thing.
Yeah.
And, so the celebrities that can go out and be incognito. So anyway, yes. BlizzCon, you get a costume that no one will recognize it's you unless you tell them. What do you dress up as?
Jules Scott.
Wow, how would you do that?
Wig, glasses, torn think tank shirt. Jules, is this something I would do?
I don't know. I don't know if I would see you cosplaying, to be honest.
I wouldn't. I want people to recognize me.
I know. Who would you dress up as?
Boy, so if I had to pick a celebrity to dress up as, I know you have to do something with a mask, right? I would be, okay, here it is.
Well, at BlizzCon, you could do anything. I mean, but most likely you would probably do a Blizzard character.
Okay, all right, let's do Blizzard characters. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would, well, geez, who wears a helmet?
Well, a lot of people do.
God, none of the cool people I can think of now wear helmets. Who would you dress up as?
Well, you'd have to go into some kind of non-human character. So you'd have to put a full mask on. So you'd need... I think I would try to... Like, there was someone walking around Dragon Con this week as Illidan. And he looked amazing. So I think you could be... people are saying you could be Jaina Proudmoore.
I'd make a good Jaina.
You would.
Got sexy eyes.
You start screaming at the top of your lungs.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't be. I'd be the cool Jaina. I wouldn't be the crazy Jaina.
Be the crazy Jaina.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. The white. You wouldn't have the white streak in your hair, Jaina.
I'd be the cool Jaina who everybody liked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Spencer would be Leroy Jenkins.
Ooh, that's good.
Leroy Jenkins. Yeah.
How about you?
That'd be really cool. I think I would probably choose the Illidan costume because you'd have to do a complete the problem is that I would need like a full bodysuit because I need the,
I got it.
What?
You could be Illidan.
Yeah.
And I'll be Maiev Shadow Song.
Ooh, look at you.
Your jailer.
No!
What?
I sit there and go, you are not.
I was like, shut up.
Shut up, Rem.
All right. From Jessica Chaos. Assuming Rem will play in Warlords of Draenor, are either of you planning on race changing now that most of the new model art is out? Personally, the new troll and orc ladies are really calling to me.
This is hard because I can't really change to a whole lot because it's so limited on what druids could be. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I guess I'm probably just going to be sticking with the Night Elf. Sorry, because I can't. I can change to Worgen, and I can change to, I got Worgen option. Is that really it, though?
Troll.
Oh, I can't be, if I'm Alliance, I can't be Troll.
Tauren.
No, I can't be Tauren.
No. Okay. Well, I mean, it says race change, so you can change any race you want.
Well, yeah, but I can't. Yeah.
I would, if I won't race change because it costs too much, but if I were to, I would race change into one of the new orcs because I want nothing more than to serve at Garrosh's side and help Grom take over the world because I think they're awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right, from Torhammer 6, what do you think of the rumor that Blizzard may be pushing a new expansion out next year and we may see a teaser at BlizzCon?
Is that even a rumor?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The latest is that it was a statement made, and I can't remember by whom, that they were already working with ideas for the next expansion now, that they're already heavily working into it.
They've got ideas for the next expansion. They have to. This is how development works. They need to be planning ahead. No, I don't think any of that is happening because they couldn't get this one out in time. All right. So
you're teetering on the nerd rage edge there, sir.
No, I'm just being honest. I'm being completely honest about it. They weren't able to get this one out within a year. So, well, actually within a year. No, because November 8th or something. Yeah, it's more than a year since BlizzCon and this game will be released. No, I think that's bad business too. I mean, they need to hype up Warlords of Draenor and get people to buy and pre-order and all that stuff. Why would they announce a brand new expansion for something after something that hasn't been released yet? That makes zero sense. I don't think they'll do that at all. I don't know what they're going to announce at BlizzCon though.
Well, in the chat room, Ro was saying Tom Chilton made those notes, and he didn't say that it's his words were not about pushing it out next year. It's just that they're working on ideas for the new expansion already.
Yeah, they have to be.
And of course they have to be. They can't be not. At
Chilton
this point,
said they have zones designed and artwork made for zones in the next expansion. Next expansion, yeah.
Right. And as a business, they have to, because the people who are the ones that come up with the direction of the company are already thinking well in advance because the work is being done on the current expansion. They need to keep thinking of the future. Am I to predict that there will be a teaser at BlizzCon? This one's really hard. They have to have something big to announce at this BlizzCon. Otherwise, they wouldn't have it. So I'm thinking that...
No, they would. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm thinking that this BlizzCon is not going to be about World of Warcraft, but that the teaser is going to be related to the Titan project. And it's just going to be a teaser just to get us going.
You get teasers for the movie.
Well, the movie. I mean,
everybody's so excited about this movie.
But Duncan Jones just tweeted today. I saw it on his Twitter that he just saw a whole cut of the Warcraft movie. That it still needs a lot of effects, but he just saw the movie and thought it was great. So
of course he thought it was great. He made it.
Of course. But it's like, well, you got to see it. You got to see it. Can we see it?
I mean. I think BlizzCon, I think cons are good because it's a great place for people to come together and have a good time and talk about stuff, bring the community together and pay lots of money for tickets. And
it gets them so excited. It gets everybody so excited about everything.
Yeah. I don't know if they're going to be announcing anything new, maybe a StarCraft something or other, and then get you pumped up for Warlords. But
it's going to be a pump up time for Warlords.
But it's just weird. They're having a BlizzCon, 4 days before they release their next expansion. It's just it's weird. I mean, who knows? They could be surprising us, but I don't see it happening. I don't see them announcing the next expansion yet. This thing needs a year and a half before they can release anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be very interesting to be there and see what we actually get. Mm-hmm. So, all right. And it's yours next. Sorry.
I wasn't going to fight with you, but from Grey Warcraft 101, you run into someone completely new to WoW and have time for one piece of advice. What is it?
One piece of advice for someone new.
Yeah.
Find fun people to play with.
Ooh, that's good. Wow. I was going to be like, go to icyveins.com.
No, it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Find a good guild, good people to play with, and they'll teach you everything you need to know. Yep, that's it. I mean, how do you find that? I don't know. Trial and error.
Well, and my thought about my piece of advice is that the thing that keeps people playing this game for so long are the friends that they make in game. So for me, it's connected that they have time spent with. So find fun people that you enjoy spending your time with is the most important thing for me.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. From Sergeant Zim, it's all about PAX. Anything you want to ask the folks in Seattle?
No.
Well, Blizzard is there. They're doing stuff over there. No? Another?
How's the coffee?
My question would be, are you washing your hands every minute?
Yes, that's good too. That's good.
Yep. Are you washing your hands every minute?
Yeah.
Please.
How's Pat Crane smell?
I don't even want to know that. Yeah. I don't want to ask that question.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Oh, from Jen Morton 01, what makes you truly happy?
Oh, this is a good question. Mm-hmm. So I think about the things that just kind of bring me absolute, happiness. And for me, it's the moments where, all of the cats that we have in our home, they're all rescues. And so Garrus has started to do this thing where he comes into the room before I go to sleep where I'm reading, and he sits and waits for me to turn the light off. And then he comes up next to me by my pillow and he stretches across my arm. Girl? And, he just lays across my arm and he purrs.
Yeah.
And it is like the most happy feeling in the world, because this poor little cat who was scared of everything when we first got him is like completely trusting and loving. That is the most awesome feeling in the world to me, is to know that you've helped to save an animal.
My cat tries to have sex with my leg. That's how I know he's happy. Not me though. It's a weird feeling.
Did you dirty this cat?
Yes. I know, it's weird. It's weird.
You suck. You take like the sweetest, most like comforting moment, and then you talk about your cat having sex on your leg.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds hilarious.
You suck. In a great way. That's awesome.
That's what makes me truly happy, making Jules laugh. No. Please. What makes me truly happy is my two children. Just seeing smiles in their faces because I can provide them a good life.
Yeah.
Makes me happy.
It's a weird and amazing feeling, like, you're responsible for you. I have the same feeling about cats that I think that most people have about kids. Mm-hmm. And it's that feeling for you, like you brought these children here and now you see them be completely excited and thrilled, and you helped make that happen and made them happy. I know that feeling. I just know it from animals.
Yeah, I was talking with a friend earlier this week about like just working all these hours I've been working, and I complain about it because it's funny, but I'm actually proud that I can actually work that much and be able to provide a good paycheck so they can have things they need and want. Not spoil them, of course, but to provide a good, comfortable life for them.
Yeah.
And make sure they can grow up healthy, happy, and have the things they need. So yeah, that. Your turn.
Awesome. Okay, from Will Seiler. Happy little trees or happy little clouds? I may or may not have been having lunch at home and watching Bob Ross.
Oh man, that's a good one. Like, I think I'm gonna go with the happy little clouds just because they're pure. I mean, there was white and a little bit of silver. When Bob Ross made trees, he used to like put like dabs of orange and yellow and stuff on them, so they became like these big bushy things.
Yeah.
And I understood what he was doing. He was making flowers on the trees and bushes and stuff, so it looked nice. But I mean, it kind of got lost. So I like the clouds because they're pure.
See, and I like the trees because I remember watching him, and he would always start out with just a stick.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a brown line.
He did it with the knife thing.
Yep, he had the little trowel thing,
Yeah.
And it came as, and then he'd scrape, and then it put another color and scrape, and then he'd take the brush and he would just the fan brush. It was always the fan brush.
Yes.
And it would just making the trees.
And you have that sound of him pressing against. Oh man, I missed that so much.
I know.
That pressing against the canvas. So there's a nice little tree, beautiful tree. He's so happy. He's so happy. Let's give him a friend. Here comes his friend.
All right, after the show is over, we're all going onto YouTube and watching Bob Ross videos. Oh, I love it.
From B Crone 68, what can I do to kill off the lull of pre 6.0 boredom?
See, this is hard. I actually decided to level up a druid on the horde side because I knew it. And then I could say I'm getting myself ready for the expansion to have a tune that'll be top level on both sides of the fence. That was something and it's been helping me to stave off the boredom, even though it is pretty boring to level. But I can do other things. I can have music playing. I can have a podcast playing while I level. It's easy. And I can talk to people if I want to. And so, yeah, that's what I did. So, find something that you really did enjoy before and maybe try doing it again. If you really did enjoy raiding, maybe start with another tune to get them raid ready. I don't know.
Get yourself ready for 6.0 and take a break.
Says the guy who took a break.
Yeah, take a break. I mean, if you're bored, take a break. All right. Pull yourself away from it, and then you'll feel the itch again. And it was funny. The chat room's like saying, Rem, they make creams for that itch. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they do.
Thanks.
Sorry, I needed some water. Okay,
Fine.
From Tahuharuk. You're not going to repeat it? You always do.
Tahuharuk.
Thank you. Gin or vodka martini?
Honestly, as the host of Liquor Fueled, I've never had either.
Really?
Really?
Oh, it's always vodka for me. A gin tastes like pine.
Yeah, it basically is pine trees. It's gross. I just picking from a list. I would go vodka because I like vodka, and I like vodka more than I like gin. So that's what I would choose is vodka.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like vodka and flavored vodka too, but yeah, straight up vodka good too.
Yeah. From Fasutja, what would you love to dress up as for Halloween?
What would I love to? Okay, so when we were at Minneapolis Comic-Con, there was a girl who was dressed up as Princess Anna from Frozen, but her costume was fantastic. It was really well done. You could tell that it was probably professionally made. And like heavy cloth, and she had like the big skirt, and her hair was braided, like perfect wig, and she was holding a little Olaf in her arms.
Oh.
And it was great. And I was like, oh my God, I totally want that costume. It was perfect. It's not like the cheapo, buy at the Target store costume. This was a really nicely done costume. I would do that.
I would be a Blue Man Group.
Oh, you would?
Well, I tried this one year, and it didn't work very well.
Oh man, you do need to have like one person with you too.
Yeah, well, I did. I had two people. My brothers-in-law were with me. We were going to do a whole dance act as Blue Men Group, but we didn't get like bald caps, so we just painted our faces blue, and it was like really gross paint. It was terrible. I would like to do an actual Blue Man Group, and have the whole full thing on with the oil paint and all that stuff. I would. Yeah. If I could do that, that's what I would do.
Man, oil paint for your skin would be expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
Something crazy. Okay, and finally from S. Southard, if Triple T was a band, what would your band name be, and what would each of you be in the band, and what would be your debut album? Actually, somebody had done this where for school projects, somebody made a CD with our logo and called it the Moo Crew.
Yes. That was a long time ago.
I know. It was a long time ago. You check out our Facebook page. There's a picture on it of that. I would probably be one of the singers of the band because I don't play an instrument.
I don't play an instrument either, but I'll figure it out. I'll either be the drummer or the guitarist.
Okay.
Whoever gets more action on stage.
Wait. Have you played the Rock Band game?
Yeah.
What was the go-to thing you did in Rock Band?
I really like the drums.
You played the drums. So
Yeah.
did Kane. Yeah, he was always the drummer, and I was really bad at it.
So
I would sit there and try to drum, and I'd be like, I can't do this.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I kept it like no more than medium level. I'm terrible. I'm too old for that stuff now. But yeah, so I'll be the drummer. You be the singer. Our band name would be, of course, the Moo Crew.
Yes.
And our first album would be called Rockin' Horns.
Oh, Tauren horns, dude.
Rockin' Horns, because it sounds like Lockin' Horns, but it's Rockin' Horns. Yeah.
Well, that's it for the whole Tell Us One thing. That was fun.
That was fun. We haven't had a long one like that in a while.
I know. Well, we had Taste Tank in the past couple of weeks, so we could.
That's right.
We had to kind of narrow it down a little.
Okay, so we love your Tell Us One Things, guys. Look for it. Tell Us One Thing Thursday on Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. Jules puts the call out. You can submit, and as always, facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank, and our email questions at TaurenThinkTank.com. And now let us do some feedback.
Feedback.
I still laugh every time that you have that one because it sounds like you're doing it live and you're not.
I know. Awesome.
All right, so let's get to the feedback. I didn't make this one.
Fine.
This one. I'll read it.
I'll do it. You
Oh,
got the
okay.
next one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't mind. Hello, Triple T. I am sending an email about the last show regarding depression. I have dealt with depression and alcoholism most of the last year. I have since gotten a lot better after I drove drunk and put my car in a ditch one night. I didn't hurt myself or anyone else and only did minor damage to my car. It was that night I realized that I had a major problem and put down the bottle for about 6 months until I could get out of my depression. I still drink, but I don't drink and drive, and I don't drink to the point that I used to. I just drink a few beers on the weekends. Since then, I have gotten over most of my depression, and I have been wanting to figure out a way to help other people with addiction, even those addicted to video games and those who are dealing with depression. After hearing this episode, I am thinking about going back to school for therapy and sociology and helping others. I live in Altoona, Pennsylvania. If anyone knows some good schools for those studies, thank you, Holy Screech of Lightbringer.
Well, this is really nice, and thank you for being inspired by our discussion to want to help others. I think that's amazing. The one thing about talking about depression and working through it is I do hope that Holy Screech. I hope you are getting some support, some professional support as well. I think that there's a lot of things in there. You've been helping yourself work through the depression, but I hope that there's some support that you get as well, just to make sure that you work through it. Because I think it's concerning that, you drove drunk in that way. It's definitely a wake up call, but hopefully there's been some support in that front too.
Yep. I agree with Jules.
Definitely. So, yeah. And if you guys do live near Altoona, PA, I don't know what part of PA that is, unfortunately. But if you do know of any good schools for studies about therapy and sociology, let us know and we'll pass it along to them. Be great.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for writing to us and good luck with everything that you're going through and good on you for wanting to turn it better. All right. Our second feedback one. This one's a little bit long, but again, this is related to our discussion about depression a couple of episodes ago. Hey, Jules. Hey, Rem. Like everyone else, including Why So Serious, whose letter you read, I was shocked at hearing that Robin Williams was just gone, especially the way he left. I didn't realize he had so many issues, though I wasn't very surprised, as it's been pointed out before that many comedians create from a source of pain. It's a terrible tragedy, but also a great opportunity to discuss the nature of depression and the difference between clinical depression and just having a bad day. I'm 45 years old, currently unemployed, have had 2 heart attacks, and have been diagnosed with stage 4 kidney disease in the past year. And I am a survivor of 3 suicide attempts, 1 with a gun and 2 with sleeping pills. So I have a bit of experience with depression. It is not a choice. What people have to understand is that depression, true depression, is a chemical imbalance in the brain. Your environment can have an impact on your mood, of course. Everyone suffers from having bad days. But depression is in itself is not dependent on how well you are or how good life is, as the situation with Robin Williams proves. My last suicide attempt happened while I was employed, living with a long-term partner, and had just rediscovered the world of video games and comics, all the things that on paper would suggest a happy life. People who have terrible childhoods can go on living happily with wonderful lives, while the rich and famous can be miserable and full of anguish. As a survivor of depression, I can attest to the fact that it is an ongoing struggle and that it's very important to get help. If the cause is chemical, it won't just go away. Medication can help, as well as therapy, both of which I am now able to take advantage of thanks to some new insurance policies. Hopefully, Why So Serious can do some research and discover that they have more options than they realize. One of the most important things for people to remember is that depression actually changes the way you see the world, colors your perception, and can physically exhaust you. I've had plenty of days where I just stayed in bed, shunning the sunlight, and preferred the escape of my dreams to the reality of my waking life. It's draining. You lose track of time and you don't see an end, just lingering existence. Those who have friends or loved ones in their lives who are depressed really need to grasp this concept before they can begin to help. Otherwise, it becomes too easy to suggest to the sufferers, just suck it up and deal with it. In my case, it very much helped to get into therapy, unburdening to an impartial party while also getting onto a mild antidepressant to actually help change my brain chemistry. Simple initial aids include meditation, walking, sticking to a constant sleep schedule, and taking St. John's wort, also known as hyperparicum. Hypericum, thank you. An herbal supplement that helps regulate brain chemistry. It helped me very much after my second suicide attempt. Finally, both sufferers and supporters need to remember that changes take time, and most medications need at least 2 weeks before the user can expect to see results. Please be patient. Great show as usual, and keep up the good work. /Moo, sincerely, Eric.
What do you say?
Well, and all of these emails that we have gotten have really just have helped to shape what the situation is, what it is, what it feels like to have depression with people who don't have depression. And I am so grateful for these. I mean, Eric's email painted a picture in my head. It painted a picture that I could see, that I could understand, and it points out things that even I have done in the past for people who have been down, where you just say, it's going to be fine. Just get over it. And you have to avoid doing that because it's the only thing that you can think of to say when you don't know what depression really means. So I think that this is something that I really, truly appreciated from Eric to talk about it. And I have to say, Eric, 3 suicide attempts, I am very, very glad that none of them were successful. Mm-hmm. Because it could be... it could have been a very, very different situation. And, it's horrible that it got to that point, but it's also helpful to understand why.
Depression is a real thing. I wish we had a more serious conversation about mental health in this country than we currently do. So we wouldn't have to say things like that.
I know. But you know what? Every little bit helps. And the situation with Robin Williams passing away and passing away due to suicide actually helped to open the conversation in some worlds, and it allows us to have the forum to do that, and it allows us to talk to people who suffer from depression and make them feel better about having that discussion in person, and that you can have it in a discussion forum like a podcast. And people will listen and people will relate. And if there is one thing that we can say that helps to change how people think about it, one person's mindset gets shifted, then we've done our jobs. Then we've done something good. Mm-hmm. And our previous writer wrote to us and said that he wants to help after talking about it, hearing us talk about it, he wants to help other people with it too. I mean, that's powerful stuff. And so if we can do that, if we can help that is something that I will always treasure. And we happen to be extremely lucky to have the forum to do it.
Yep.
So I can't thank our chat room enough, our listeners enough, the people that come to see us every week, come to download our show every week. You make it possible for us to have this forum and keep it going. And so we'll, like we've always said, we'll do it. And we'll continue to do it until people don't want us to do it anymore.
So, whoa, that's
whoa!
I hit it too fast. /moo to you, Eric, and of course /moo. Oh boy, /moo to you, Eric, and /moo to our chat room and everybody who listens. And Jules, let's do some more /moos.
Let's do it from Memeth. /moo to Alair the Phoenix, who watched me make a mob spawner in Minecraft and chit-chatted, making it more fun.
All right. Hold on a second. Wait a second. I got to get to my thing. I have a million things open. From TimeCat X, /moo to Jemmy of Faye Mercurial.
Awesome. From Al the Mage, /moo to the Azeroth Roundtable chat room last night. They inspired some amazing post-show magic.
From Quoted Nevermore, /moo to @GISGamer, @Cyberwaif, and @JulesRPG for being some of the most awesome gamer ladies I know. Less than 3, pic.twitter.com/OTQVB6TMNY.
It has the picture attached to it. I forgot to take it off.
Oh, I thought that was part of the tweet.
Which is awesome. That is Ben's girlfriend, Sarah. And so she is she's awesome. So we had that picture taken at Nerdtacular, which was really cool. So yeah, I'm excited. I was excited to see it. I hadn't seen it before. And from Tater Soul RT, /moo to my better half. I've been kind of a raging a-hole lately, and she's put up with it even when she shouldn't have to.
Wow. From Bloofer 2, a big shout out to Simber, a great real life for Bloof. Oh, big shout out to Simber, a great raid leader for Bloofer and the Troublemakers, and an all around great guy.
And /moo to Alderic. We just got done with the move from hell today, and gods and goddesses both. He's worked so damned hard to make sure I don't hurt myself. From his beloved Birdie.
That's right. /moos, you guys. /moo to all of you. /moos are for people who you think are awesome, or who have done awesome, or have just been awesome, or just basically people who are awesome. And you can send those to us. Look for on Saturdays on the Twitter @Tauren Think Tank, because Jules says, hey, who do you want to /moo tonight? And then everyone's like, I want to /moo Alderic because he's awesome. And that's how we get them. So that's exactly it. Right, guys. So you can find us on iTunes. We are there, front and center, kind of. Leave us a review. That would be awesome. Subscribe to us if you haven't yet. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because you're listening to us. Wow, that's weird. But go ahead, subscribe to us, leave us a review, 5 stars, 4 stars, or otherwise. We do appreciate reviews. You can find us on Stitcher. Give us a thumbs up. Go ahead, and you can review us on Stitcher as well, because Stitcher is awesome. Also, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, and of course, the Xbox Podcast Directory. Jules,
Rem,
what do you got going on?
This week I have, we've got that TV show going on Wednesday, because Pat Crane doesn't come back from PAX until Tuesday, so we're going to wait until Wednesday to do the show. Another episode of I Remembered It Better just came out today, and it's pretty fun, so check it out. We had some fun with this one, talking about the movie True Lies that I just saw for the first time.
What?
I know, I'd not seen it before.
True Lies is amazing.
We talk about my opinion of True Lies on the show.
It figures.
You'll have to hear it. You'll have to hear what I had to say.
I can't. I just get mad at you.
Yeah, you probably will. So it's iremembereditbetter.com. It's a podcast experiment in geek nostalgia. Anything that we talk about from that time frame is stuff that we remember as children, or things that they might be doing again from our childhood. It's pretty cool.
From a time when you had to earn trophies.
That's right. There was no trophy given to you just for showing up.
That's right.
You had to earn that T-ball trophy, man. So yeah, that's what's going on with me this week, as you can hear me do.
Mm-hmm.
How about you? What's going on with you?
Well, we got some new stuff on the Stormlight Cast. We talked about it last week. Of course, if you were like, there's the, oh my God, I'm losing it, Jules. It's a good thing we're ending.
Brain.
I know, it's fried, man. Wow, we had that discussion at the beginning of the show, and I used up all my good stuff. Rayanne reviews a book, Divergent on Realm of Books. Myself, Ro, John, and Ben did a flex mode, and that is called Alternate Jobs in Azeroth. And, of course, I have been promoting this for a couple weeks, but it's finally out. A short track 2 commentary track with myself, Ben, and John, where we watched Short Circuit 2. I said Short Circuit 2.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yeah.
We watched Short Circuit 2 on Netflix and talk about it while it's happening. And you can listen as you watch the movie or listen as a standalone, because I think it's funny either way. You can find those on stormridecast.libsyn.com or on iTunes and Stitcher. For those of you who are fans of Liquor Fueled returns this coming Friday. Homemade scorpion bowls.
Oh, my.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
The crew returns for another hilarious episode of Liquor Fueled, so stay tuned. That'll be Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern Time at twitch.tv/thestormride and later released on our feed. And the details are coming together, but you heard my Doctor Who review earlier in the podcast. That's actually going to become a real thing, as Ben from Azeroth Roundtable and myself are going to be doing 2 Doctor Who episodes this coming season.
Whoa, really?
Yes, we're going to do halfway and then post.
Nice.
So halfway through the season, we're going to be talking about the first half of the season, and then post-season, we'll be getting together to talk some more. And if you had any questions you wanted to ask us about Doctor Who, because we're totally experts, stormridecast@gmail.com if you want to send those in, but I'll talk more about that on my other Storm Ride shows. That's it.
Awesome.
Are you ready to bring this baby home?
I am ready. Let's do it.
Okay, first I have to find the music. I never switched it over because I had a whole bunch of things going. But here we go. Oh, and it did that
and
again.
It broke.
Hold on. I'm going to try to open it because it's more fun to do with music. Come on, open it back up. Oh, no, it doesn't want to open. What's going on?
Computer sucks.
Oh, here it comes. Okay.
There it is. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
You can find us outside of the show on our website, torrenthinktank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us. There's also a donate button on the site, so if you like what we do and would like to support our show by sending us a donation, that's a great way to do it.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank, and you can find Rem on Twitter at Remgar, REMGHAR, and me, Jules, at JulesRPG. And you can also chat with us and other members of the Moo Crew on our forums. Give those boards some love at forums.signalsmedia.com.
Special thanks to Arcane. He's still playing Frost, right?
Yes, he is.
The Frost Mage. For helping out in the chat room tonight.
Yeah, he had a lot of work to do tonight for some reason.
I did too.
Yeah, you did too. What the heck?
And it's weird. And for his voiceover work. And of course, that chat room wrangling. Was he playing a game too?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. I love Kate. He's awesome. He plays games while he moderates the chat room. Don't forget your triple t-shirts at /loot.com. 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors. Thank you, everyone, for being with us here tonight in our chat room. Every Saturday night, almost, at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank at around 10 o'clock Eastern Time. We love seeing you all here with us. It makes our show much more enjoyable. And it makes the days light. It makes the days of everybody else in the chat room, too. Jules.
Rem.
Any last words?
Well, when Rem finds his words, he'll say, thank you guys for being here tonight. Thank you, chat room for being awesome, having great discussions, especially along with our discussion topic and the question of the week. And we'll see you next Saturday. Have a good one.
Alrighty, so ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-loo-blah-blah-blah-blah, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. For Jules, for Kane, for me. Until next time. /moo, everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad. This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really? Rem is right. What the hell was wrong with the chat room? My God.
I don't know.
People were being absolute bitches tonight.
People are bored. Stop recording.
Jeez. Like, come on, people. We know we're not the prettiest people in the world, but you don't have to tell us that. Jeez.
When someone tells me I don't look good.
Like, I don't need to know that I'm fat. You don't have to tell me.
You're beautiful. Stop it.
Oh, well, thank you. But, it's just, it's so irritating when people decide that that's what they want to do.
Like, I don't mind it for myself. Like, I don't care, but I know it bothers other people in the chat room, And because our chat room is so awesome, and we have such awesome people who come to watch our show, and I hate that they have to deal with some of that sometimes.
Well, and I'm watching the chat room because I want to hear what they have to say as part of that. And then, when I see people are like griping about what we're talking about, it's like, but you don't have to be here if you don't like how we're talking.
Right. What are you doing?
It's so irritating to me. It's like, if you don't like that we're talking about depression because everybody gets depressed, then go elsewhere. You can go on to that 500 million different Twitch channels. Get off mine.
Navax, you missed him because I banned him immediately.
Yeah, and Kane too. I mean,
Kane
you guys were like right on it. It's like, but we never have this. Like, most of the time people are just awesome. And I don't. So when I see that, and I'm just like, I hope somebody just needs to go get some dopamine or something.
Go do something, okay? The world doesn't owe you shit. Go and do something.
Go effing do something. But yeah, the band hammer had to be strong tonight. And we're trying to do a show about, being kind to other people. That's like the irony of it all. Chief Bolton, bringing bad names for trolls. So annoying. Be kind to the troll name. Don't make it out to be horrible. Oh, you guys rock, though. I swear, the stories. We have a letter that I'm going to have to work on editing for next week. And it doesn't have anything to do with all the topics that we've talked about. It's just someone sharing their story. But it's really, really long. So I'm going to have to pare it back from everything. But just amazing, the stories that we receive from people and the outlooks that people have about hardships that they've experienced in their lives and how they can still be positive. I mean, this poor man, I feel terrible for him, but you guys will too. So, but yeah, it makes me feel pretty bad about complaining about crap in my life when I read about what this guy has been through.
Remind me that there's no room for funny around that letter, okay?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one is definitely no room for funny.
Because, my God, that letter where...
No, and you know what, though? I get the funny part, but it still sucks when you've been kicked in the teeth by somebody. I mean, haven't you been broken up with someone who was like a stupid excuse?
What?
When you were in high school, were you broken up with somebody who gave you some stupid excuse as to why they broke up with you?
No, I didn't really date much in high school.
Oh, okay. Well, then you've just kind of destroyed my entire point.
Yeah, no, but I understand what you're saying. But I mean, I guess it's because, like, I'm old now. And I know what high school was.
Oh, and it's your whole world.
Yeah, and then it's the funny part. And I know he's in the chat room, and I feel like this person's a friend because we've been in contact.
Yeah. No.
So just knowing that she's lying, because they live in the same town and she has to see her. I mean, it's terrible that she said it. It's a terrible thing to do, but it just. I mean, when you think about it in a few years. You'll look back and laugh.
Yeah. Oh no. You'll. But I mean, I laugh now when I see there's an ex-boyfriend that I have on Facebook that I see every once in a while, and he tweets pictures of his kids. His kids look exactly like him. And he basically dumped me because and we had been together for probably 2-3 years on and off, and he broke up with me because he couldn't see himself getting married to me. And so it was like, well, then why did we go on for so long if you knew that? But he wrote this in a letter to his brother that he left out so I would see it.
Really?
Because he was spending half a year abroad in England, and he left the letter out so I could see it, where it was a letter written to his brother to tell him that I just don't see us working out because I just can't see myself marrying her. Yeah, that sucked. Oh. That's harsh. So because he couldn't tell, he could never tell me himself, and he never did. He actually never did tell me. Never told me the truth.
Really?
Nope, never told me the truth. And yeah, that sucked.
That's terrible.
But you get over it. You move on and you find somebody else, and but yeah, it's a dick move. So, you don't want to be stand up. But a lot of people, when you're young, you don't know how to have the courage to stand up and say something because you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. You don't know how to not hurt somebody's feelings or deal with it. So, yeah, Spencer just said at least he didn't dump you by text. Yeah, I know. I mean, we didn't have text messaging back then because all we had were, rotary phones. No, kidding.
Well,
we had rotary phones when I was a little kid.
You're not entirely lying.
I did. We had rotary phones.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Svensson, I wrote down your birthday so we can talk about it in the next Liquor Field because I can't do one that soon after. So your birthday show will be this coming Friday.
Is this one Huel's birthday coming up?
I don't know when Huel's birthday is, but if it's within the next 2 weeks, it's going to have to be because I can't do one.